Hello everyone and welcome to the Royal Rumble pre-show, coming to you live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, home of the Astros. The road to WrestleMania begins tonight, but before we get there, we have the pre-show to enjoy. Two matches coming up for you here this evening as we prepare for the big show that is the Royal Rumble. Coming up right away, we're going to see Toni Storm challenge Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and for our main event, quote-unquote, of the pre-show, the British Empire will challenge the Revival for the ECW Tag Team titles. The Royal Rumble may just be around the corner, but the action begins right now. And it begins with the SmackDown Women's title on the line, because it's Toni Time. And it is time for Toni Storm to challenge Shayna Baszler for SmackDown's gold. Toni Storm defeated Sasha Banks to become the #1 contender a few weeks ago on SmackDown, but there has been doubts over the fear that she has towards Shayna Baszler. The reality is this: when she became #1 contender, Shayna stormed the ring, choked her out immediately. And before that point, Toni Storm had tried to suggest that she wasn't scared of Shayna, that she wouldn't back down from Shayna, but the reality was, when Shayna stepped into the locker room that Toni Storm was in conducting that interview, she was scared stiff. She stopped the interview right then and there because of the reaction, because of the fear that she felt with Shayna Baszler. And Baszler promised her on SmackDown 2 weeks ago that she wouldn't have to worry about her eyes being opened in fear, because tonight she would ensure that they were shut tight in the Ace of Spades clutch. Well, here she comes towards the ring, the woman who dramatically destroyed and dismantled Paige from her holdership of the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now it belongs to the Queen of Spades. And I don't believe that she has any intention of letting it go here tonight against Toni Storm. It may have been the SmackDown after TLC that Toni Storm arrived, but Shayna Baszler's been running through this division for a long time. They've met on NXT in the past. They met at a takeover. Shayna Baszler won. Shayna Baszler was the final ever NXT Women's Champion. She ran through that division. Now she is looking to dominate this division. We are going to see here tonight if it's going to be Toni Time that the division will run on, or if the Queen of Spades will remain atop her throne. Toni Storm ready and fired up. She promised that she wouldn't be scared. Here tonight she promised she wouldn't back down on Shayna Baszler, that she would stand up to her, that she would give her the fight of her life, and that she would become the SmackDown Women's Championship. And there you see two women in the ring getting ready to compete, and a women's referee. On a night where the women are going to make history with the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, the brand new referee for SmackDown, Jessica Carr, will call the action here tonight as it's Toni Storm and Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's title. Bell rings, and immediately Shayna Baszler goes to the middle of the ring because she knows she has the confidence factor of a Toni Storm. She knows where she lies when it comes to Toni Storm. She knows that she has the mental mind games over Toni Storm, and immediately she is making sure that Storm learns her place. Storm walked into the middle of the ring after some hesitancy and gets taken down with a hip toss right away here as Shayna Baszler goes to work. And already laughing down at her challenger. An absolutely stacked house here in Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. for what will be a huge evening of action. For the first time, 2 Royal Rumbles in one night. And so much more on the line. The very fate of ECW hangs in the balance between Johnny Gargano and Tetsuya Naito. The Blackheart and the Switchblade will do battle for the WWE Championship. Will Roman Reigns be able to hold on against El Idolo and the Ace for the World Heavyweight Championship? All that and more to come, as right now, Toni Storm looking to prove an upset here, but Baszler had an arm in the ropes. And Toni Storm using that roll-up to her advantage. Look at her go now. Hurricanrana from Storm. A little bit of a late wake-up in this matchup, but Toni Storm is awake, is alert, and is ready to go here. Baszler, a little bit staggered for a second, sent out to the apron, but comes back with a big forearm. Taking Toni Storm down, or rather staggering Toni Storm, not taking it down. Slammed in work, big boot misses, and another. Saito suplex will put Toni Storm in her place there. Shayna Baszler just doing all the right things right now as Toni Storm gets hurtled into the turnbuckle. Their roll up, but Storm's feet definitely in the ropes there. Back up to their feet now. A little bit of hesitancy from Baszler there, came running in but decided against whatever she was looking for. And that is not a move that is going to be taken in a positive light by the ECW fans in the arena. You know the name of it. It only gets a 1 count there. Toni Storm went for a big boot, but Baszler was getting up to her feet there, would move out of the way of it in time. Baszler comes up the counter and a big running knee. And the boos rain out as well as Shayna Baszler has control over Toni Storm, working over the arms here, going after the leg now. What are we going to see here? Ankle lock, dead center, middle of the ring. Jessica Carr in position, looking to see if we'll have a tap out here from Toni Storm, but Storm rolls around and kicks Baszler back there. Baszler up to her feet, comes charging back into the middle of the ring, and Storm comes charging in, forearms, back elbow, spinning kick. Into the turnbuckle we go now. The Baszler counters again, and just seems as if every time Storm sees a window of opportunity in front of her, Shayna Baszler right there to snuff the flame out. Storm on the apron here and all. Shoulder tackled to the outside with authority. Nothing nice about that feeling. Oh, now it's going to get from bad to worse out on the announcer's desk there. Toni Storm gets dumped down on it. A nasty landing to say the least as Baszler sends them back into the ring now. Count continuing on, but Baszler believes she's got all the time in the world here to control Toni Storm. Controlling her, she certainly is. There's no doubt about that one. Toni Storm, as I said a moment ago, every time she gets a lifeline, Baszler just takes it away from her and then just takes the punishment to her. A third Saito suplex in this match on top of the German suplex and all the other punishment that has been dished out the way of Toni Storm, and it's only going to go from bad to worse. Storm perched on the top rope here. Storm though, back elbow, there's a counter. Storm from up high, crossbody down on Baszler. An opportunity presenting itself there for Toni Storm as she gets back up to her feet now. Lifts Baszler back up there as well. Baszler with the turnbuckle running, big boot comes in after it from Toni Storm. Oh, fisherman suplex. And a neck crank follows up after it as well from Toni Storm now. Good combination. Could have resulted in a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Not going to be a count of two and nothing more. Good positioning there from Jessica Carr. It's got to be a nerve-wracking first night of the job here in the WWE in front of a stacked house like we've got here in Houston. Nice few strikes there from Storm. Gets a run up there and gets the big boot. We came back into the ring and I was on about how Storm was in deep trouble, as she seems to have suggested that that isn't the case at all. Here we go now. Toni Storm wrapping the legs over. What are we going to see? Oh, an Is that an inverted figure four? She's got the arms as well. She's stretching the arms. Incredible submission maneuver here. Shayna Baszler, her limbs are all tied up, and she could be having to give up here. No. Mixed martial artist like Baszler's going to know the way out of all of those and comes right back with a running knee. Drill Toni Storm. Almost retained the SmackDown Women's Championship, but just not enough in the moment. Toni Storm hanging on, but now she's getting a beating in the corner. Spoke too soon maybe. She took those kicks and a headbutt from Storm. And now Meteora comes in as well. Those running knees in the corner. Storm sees Baszler in the perfect position to pounce here. Up high, went for the splash, but the knees were up and there was no time to realign. Shayna Baszler with a running knee lift as well. And now Baszler, is she taking the Ace of Spades clutch? Is it good night, Toni Storm? Not if Storm has anything to say about it. Storm, look at this. Roll up. This could do it. There's 1, 2. Oh, so close. Baszler got the shot up in time. Just barely. Toni Storm with a real opportunity there to become SmackDown Women's Champion. Best opportunity in the match thus far. But Baszler got the shoulder up in time and came back with a big kick in the face. But Storm comes back with a counter of her own on the apron. She goes up to the top rope now. Storm incoming again. Oh, there's no one home. Looked like she may have been overshooting her target in the first place. But Baszler moved well out of the way, and look at those strikes coming in now. And just the sheer power of Shayna Baszler's being demonstrated. Gut-wrench suplexes. Connected with ease. Toni Storm, you could see her there lifting her head up, trying to bring herself up to her feet. But it just looks like the opportunity is not coming. Shayna Baszler now with authority, with ruthlessness, and with the destruction that led her to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Maybe about to finish off this chapter for Toni Storm, but Storm's still alive here. Storm still with a fighting chance maybe. Here we go, off the ropes. Storm, Hurricanrana once again. She is willing, she is passionate, she is in position. Is she thinking Storm zero? Oh, never mind, she's sending her to the turnbuckle first. Big boot, countered. Baszler got the counter, and now Baszler boot in the cut, up and into Ace of Spades clutch. The worst place you can be. Will Shayna Baszler's promise come true? Yes, it will. Toni Storm has to give up. Shayna Baszler, still SmackDown Women's Champion. Baszler wanted to prove this was her division. Baszler wanted to prove on a massive stage why she dominates everywhere she goes. And she did it again. Toni Storm put up a valiant effort. She gave it her everything. She gave it one hell of a fight. But a hell of a fight just isn't enough when you're in the ring with the Queen of Spades. Shayna Baszler still on top. A very competitive women's match to get us underway here on the pre-show, but it's not the only chance the women are going to get here tonight to showcase their talents. Starting things off on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. History will be made in the first ever 30-women Royal Rumble match. The winner goes to WrestleMania to face Shayna Baszler or Tessa Blanchard. I cannot wait to see them make history. The question is, of course, which woman will make history and be the first ever Women's Royal Rumble winner? We will find out when that gets underway later on this evening. It's going to be incredible. This whole evening's going to be incredible. Simply put, the biggest Royal Rumble there's been. No doubt about it. Every match has high stakes, and so does this one. As the British Empire challenge for the ECW Tag Team titles, what a turn of events it has been for the British Empire. All the drama they were marred in, all the issues they were caught up in, first with Neville, then with Mark Andrews. But now, the ship is realigned. Mark Andrews has proved his loyalty to the British Empire, and the things are on the upturn for these men. And speaking of upturn, listen to the ovation for the ECW Tag Team Champions. The Revival are in the building. They wanted to see who would face them. They wanted to give an opportunity to everyone across the ECW Tag Team division, and that is exactly what they did. 2 triple threat matches. One was won by Kofi Kingston of the New Day. The other was won by Zack Sabre Jr. Then this past ECW, those two groups, the New Day and the British Empire, met in a tag team matchup, and it was the British Empire who won, courtesy of a Zack Sabre Jr. submission victory. And now you have to question, now that Zack Gibson, now that his issues are over, we believe anyway, with Mark Andrews, is this a realigned, refocused and redetermined British Empire? I suppose we will find out in just a few moments' time. They certainly look dialed in on ECW this past week, as the ECW referee Scott Armstrong lifts those titles up high. New look to the titles, as you can see, some side plates there for the Revival as well. Some new look to almost every championship, as you will see here tonight. Those side plates, you'll see them on the World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, ECW Championship, and the Cruiserweight Championship as well. Of course, they've already been on the SmackDown Women's Championship and the WWE Championship now for some time, but that design has carried over to every title within the WWE, ECW included. But right now, we're not looking at the design of the title. We're looking to see who are going to be holding the titles when this match is all said and done. And right away, Zack Gibson came out of the gates hot here against Dash Wilder. Tag is made. In comes Zack Sabre Jr. And immediately, this aggressive side of ZSJ that has really taken a shine in, as him and Drew McIntyre seems to have been honing in their bond in the British Empire. Of course, what was interesting to see within that whole saga with the British Empire, as another tag is made and Zack Gibson becomes legal once again here, is of course that McIntyre was almost trying to be the mediator between Andrews and Gibson. Andrews and Gibson really did not get along. But as they were trying to be the mediator with one another, ZSJ basically just stayed out of their business. He was doing his own thing. He did not care. Well, maybe he did care, but he certainly didn't pick a side, and he certainly didn't speak up in the whole saga. But now, as we can see, Gibson and ZSJ as a team competing for those tag team titles. And as I alluded to in their entrance, maybe, just maybe, everything seems to be patched up in the British Empire. Andrews beat Bate this past week on ECW. So there's nothing really for any of these guys to pin against each other. And Scott Dawson went for a pin there on Zack Gibson and only got a 1 count. Here we go. Saito suplex coming in there from Gibson onto Scott Dawson now, as Scout style will begin to rain down on one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions. We saw the stare down between these two teams on ECW, of course, after the British Empire defeated the New Day. The Revival came out on the stage holding the tag team titles, and the British Empire got a good look at the goal that they plan on holding by the end of this evening. Zack Sabre Jr. again is legal, and look at this. The way he's working over Scott Dawson. And double knees coming down in the back again. Just very, very effective offense from ZSJ, and now he will go to what he does best, near enough better than anyone else. And those are the submissions. Indian Deathlock applied here, pushing the knee in a direction that it absolutely does not want to move in. Scott Armstrong in position. If Scott Dawson will choose to tap out, not the case though. Right hand from Dawson gets him out of it. Back up to a vertical basis, and immediately ZSJ, he's going after the legs. Right away, the game plan has become apparent. He is targeting the legs of Scott Dawson. Look at this, has the leg locked up and is just raining down right hands over and over again onto Dawson there. And now, oh, big knee in the gut. This is Zack Sabre Jr.'s moment here. He is controlling the ring. He is controlling one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions as well, and that means that the British Empire is controlling the Revival in this moment. Dawson able to fight back here, but is that leg of his going to prove any problems? Able to bring a knee down on it there for that, or maybe able to bring Zack Sabre Jr. rather down onto his knee for that backbreaker, but gets right out of the ring and tags in Wilder. And look at this now, ZSJ, just as we saw from Toni Storm, cradling him up, cover on Wilder. Oh, Wilder though just able to kick out in time there. The pressure of the two men now, but ZSJ just so quick, so nimble, and easy to counter. And now a leg lock is stitched in here. Has the leg draped over. Dash Wilder in trouble here, not going to tap out, but certainly wearing down the leg there is ZSJ. Doing exactly what is needed of him here to bring the tag team titles to the British Empire. But a fantastic uppercut there from Wilder. Also going to get some much needed R&R on the outside there. Look out now in the corner, went for a closeout of the turnbuckle. ZSJ moved out of the way and goes after the leg again. This time the opposite leg, I believe, to what was locked in on the spinning leg lock. Now a spinning toe hold being executed here. It is just all game plan in the legs for Zack Sabre Jr. He's done the technical damage, and now the beatdown damage can come in. Zach Gibson is legal here. Immediately puts the hurt onto Dash Wilder. Irish whips him into the turnbuckle and just backs up. And makes sure that Dawson is tagged in. Dawson helping Wilder out of the ring. They're trying to wake him up almost as Gibson watched on and they took the opportunity from behind. Roll up here. Wilder makes the save. Scott Dawson was just trying to look out for his tag team partner there. Was just trying to help him out of the ring, and it almost cost him the tag team titles. Dawson comes back with a big lariat there though. Takes down Zach Gibson. Look out. Over the shoulder power bomb. Stacks him up. Covers made. There's two. And a kick out. Biggest move of the match thus far for the Revival there, though it must be said. Look out now, coming in with a head of steam and an elbow on the point of the head there from Scott Dawson, who gets sent over the top rope. Hanging on in the apron. Forearm shot there. And Dawson uncharacteristically going to the top rope, only to be met with a forearm and then kicked in the back off the top rope by Zack Sabre Jr. And clearly Zach Gibson was a fan of that idea there, as it has brought them back into control. But look at ZSJ back in the ring and just trying. Dawson just trying to crawl to Wilder. ZSJ not allowing it, and oh, what a knee from ZSJ. No knee pad either, just a knee right into the jaw. And the shoulders though go up at 2. But a brutal knee there from Sabre Jr., must be said. Now he is looking to just put this match away, trying to just work over the legs again and again as much as he can. But Dawson comes back here with a big lariat. And now He needs to make a tag into the Wilder. It's interesting when the Revival are making tags. It's almost because they have to, because they're getting beat down. When the British Empire are making tags, it's just smart tag team wrestling. With the Revival, it's almost like they can only spend so much time in the ring because ZSJ is just doing all the right things. He is just targeting the limbs, more specifically the legs, over and over again. Not only is he putting the Revival almost out on their feet, but more importantly, when he does it to Wilder, he's taking away the Shatter Machine. You may not like the British Empire, you certainly don't have to. But this is commendable, intelligent tag team wrestling here, and a tag team game plan as well that so far is working how they would want it to go. Wilder, looks like he tried for something from behind there on Gibson, but Gibson with a big back elbow. In response, Wilder down on the mat once again. Look out here, not a place you want to be. Fisherman's small package suplex there, doesn't follow up with a cover, but instead goes right after the head. Brutal knee, I said. ZSJ was all about the technical offense, and Gibson was just about being brutal. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Look out now, in the turnbuckle we go. Gibson, second rope, has him in place, hangs him out to dry on the top rope with that guillotine there. Can he make the crawl? Can he make the crawl? No! So close to Dawson, yet so far away, and again the leg was honed in there by Gibson shortly thereafter. Right hand here from behind, half hack suplex there from Gibson onto Wilder, and another knee comes in, and it almost feels like as the moments tick by that the chance for the British Empire to become ECW Tag Team Champions is just becoming greater and greater. Wilder continuing to try and fight. Oh no! Lariat comes in there. Gibson rolls out to the apron. Now should be the time that Wilder should run to the other side of the ring and look for the tag in on Dawson. Doesn't go for it. Gibson has the counter. Sunset flip here. Shoulders are down. Could we have new Tag Team Champions? Oh, so close. Just not enough. Wilder gets the shoulder up just in the nick of time there. Double knees down onto the arms though by Gibson. And Gibson, he's looking to finish this matchup. He's looking to present new Tag Team Champions, looking for Helter Skelter. No, he took the leg out, but Wilder pushes him away. Wilder comes running in, sweeps the legs, rolls him up. And the Revival have done it! It may not have been the way they would have wanted to have won, but it's the way they have won. Their legs were dismantled, their bodies were hurt, the damage was done, and it seemed as if it was over for a moment, but the Helter Skelter was countered, the roll-up connected, and the Revival are still your Tag Team Champions, and the British Empire are livid. They cannot believe it. ZSJ is in complete dismay on the outside there. But the facts are the facts. The Revival just hang on there. The British Empire defeated, and the top guys remain on top of the ECW division. But you get the feeling it might not be over between these two sides. But on this evening, the Revival retain the gold. And that'll do it here, folks, for the pre-show edition of the Royal Rumble, but there is plenty to come in just a few moments. The road to WrestleMania firmly begins. Can Seth Rollins do it all from number one to go on to headline his second straight WrestleMania? That and so much more to come its way here tonight. Do not miss it. The Royal Rumble is up next. The road to WrestleMania begins now. We'll see you there, folks.